All right, I'll never forget the time I first met this man. It was several years ago, and he was in our green room here at the radio station, and he had a bag. It was a lunch bag. It was a brown bag. However, it wasn't just like a regular size. It was a Whole Foods bag, like the big grocery bag. And I said, Dr. Oz, what do you have in your bag? And Dr. Oz, thank you for being live with us. You had whole foods. You had tomatoes. You had cucumbers that you would just eat like an apple. You had a head of lettuce. Everything in there was carrots that were still had the peel on them. And you said, "This is lunch, Ellen." And I was astonished by how well you eat and how healthy you stay. So thank you, Dr. Oz. You're the picture of health.
I'll tell you, eating that way is the way our species has always dealt with infections. Crazily, all the things you just mentioned, and it's pure coincidence, I know that you brought it up, but it was how we would very specifically enhance our immune system. And even today, when you put those colorful fruits and vegetables into your body, the reason they get those colors is because they're building up antioxidants to protect them from the sun so they can get the nourishment without the damage. Our body takes those same nutrients and it enhances our immune system's ability to fight off bacteria and viruses, which these days, as you know, is pretty important.
I had no idea. And Dr. Oz, I'll never forget it. You said, Ellen, when's the last time that you just had a green bean? And you pulled out those green beans, and I sat down and ate them with you. It was really delicious.
Oh, my goodness.
But okay, so Dr. Oz, now we're hearing that we need until August for things to start getting back to normal. We don't want to spread fear. We just want to spread facts.
Well, I think August is a rational expectation. Personally, I think that by June, which is still a while away, but a much more accessible time, we'll be through the worst of this. And I base that on a few realities. One, thankfully, the numbers in China are very encouraging. The new viruses, the new infections from viruses are dropping dramatically. Just this week, the number of cases outside of China is more than the cases inside of China. Now, the Chinese did some pretty draconian things. We may have to copy in this country to get those results. But the fact that they suffocated this virus is realize it gives us hope, and it also gives us a strategy. And I think if you look at how long it took for them to impact this change, it would put us right at the end of May, beginning of June, which is why I actually rescheduled. We have a big gala that I do for a kids foundation called Health Corps. I rescheduled it from April, which we couldn't have held it, obviously, to June, with the expectation most people feel pretty good about life. They'll get back in the water.
Oh, great. Is Dr. Oz with us now live? 81,000 people have recovered. And then yesterday, we broke some world news. Carl Goldman, who's been quarantined for 40 days, actually got on a flight yesterday. He had those 3 negative coronavirus tests in a row, and he came back here to the Southland and slept in his own bed. And I think that gives the world hope that, look, he's 67. We are able to get over this. 81,000 people have recovered. Some people don't even know that they have the virus. So what is the good news? Is it true? Can we believe this?
You can believe it. It's unfortunate in some ways because you don't know you're contagious, so unwittingly you could hurt people around you, in particular your parents or your grandparents. Mm-hmm. But the good news is that I think a lot of folks have already been infected. They just don't know it. And that means that we will get through the herd immunity part of this more rapidly. And by that I mean, once enough people are either infected or immunized, it's very hard for these viruses to pass through the population. Imagine a forest fire, and that you build those little firewalls through it. If the fire can't get outside of certain areas, it stays in one office, doesn't travel across all the offices. It hits one home in the community, not all the homes in the community. And so either through infection or through vaccine, we're going to get there anyway. But if the infections don't hurt us very badly, that's not a bad way to go. So our belief is that half the U.S. population will be infected over the next year. Now, if we manage it correctly and they all get sick at the same time, we won't have the catastrophes in the hospitals that we're witnessing in Italy, for example. And so that's my hope, that we'll be able to achieve that goal without too much of a penalty.
And we'll do it through education and knowing people like you, Dr. Oz. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. We know you're in your car, you're on your way to you're one of your many things you're doing today. But remember, listen to that wife of yours and you better sleep.
Oh, I sleep like a baby. And listen, I want to thank you. Your calming voice throughout this. It's one of the reasons I love spending time with you. With all the craziness around this, you keep people informed. You don't sugarcoat it, you tell them the truth, but you tell it to them in a way that gives them confidence they can control their destiny, which is ultimately what hope's about.
Oh, Dr. Oz, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. Thanks,
Stay well.
thanks for being here with us, too. You be well. I love it. He says, be well. God bless. Dr. Oz zooming away in a car in New York City. Love that man. Wow. All right. So he makes us feel better, not only physically, mentally, but also emotionally. And this is Coast.
The Ellen K. Morning Show on Coast 103.5.